When I think about these Olympic Games and what might result for them, I hope that these will not be judged as having been for the few, but for the many, and that the Games will have touched every life, every family, every child, that somehow the Olympic spirit will have made its way through the front door of every home in Canada and inspired Canadians. And if we achieve this, we have a stronger Canada, a better Canada. This is nation building. I hope that this is what these Games will be all about. I was born in Tipperary, Ireland. Grew up there for, the early part of my life. There were 8 of us. And we were like, there were 8 furlongs in a mile, and we were sort of the neighborhood joke. My dad started in the Irish prison system after World War II. So we went from prison to prison to prison. I spent my entire childhood looking through bars. There was always this code of playing fair, and if it's not yours, don't take it. And if you break it, fix it. And if you're not supposed to cross the street until you get to the green light, then don't do it.
Friday, the 17th of May, 1974. The horror of the Irish Troubles is brought home to the Furlong family when 3 car bombs explode in Dublin. The first goes off during rush hour. 11 people die, including 2 infant girls. The second detonates 2 minutes later, killing another 14. Moments later, the third car bomb explodes, killing 2 tourists and an expectant mother.
I was 6 miles away and felt it in my feet when it happened.
Among the dead lie one of John Furlong's closest family members, his 19-year-old cousin, Siobhan.
Siobhan was identified by a ring on her finger because the bodies were so badly ripped apart by the bomb. It was the emptiest I've ever felt.
But for John Furlong, things were only to get worse. His father suffers a massive heart attack, his heart broken by the shock of identifying his niece's shattered body.
It was heartbreaking. My dad was my closest sort of influencer. And, the bottom sort of fell out of being in Dublin for me then. But I wasn't sure about, the long term, whether or not this would be a forever thing. But a chance came to come to Canada, and I took it. I remember flying over the north, looking out the window and thinking, oh my goodness. I thought, you could take Ireland, turn it into a frisbee, and toss it down in the Arctic, and it'd take them a week to find it. It was just this enormous place. So we landed in Edmonton, and I got off the plane. We walked across the tarmac. I was scared, thinking, you idiot, John, what are you doing? And I walked in there and in the lineup, and I get up and I put my passport in front of the customs officer, and he looked at me and he asked me what I was going to be doing, and I told him I was going to be teaching. And as he handed me back my passport, he said to me, welcome to Canada, make us better. People are expected to make a contribution, and I thought he was telling me, listen here, this country is a great country, and everyone who comes here is expected to play their part. Play your part and help this country be great.
The International Olympic Committee has the honor of announcing.
He made the announcement, and he made it in sort of broken English. He announced it sounded a bit like Vancouver to me.
That the 21st Olympic Winter Games in 2010.
And he said it. I stood up and I got embraced by this female RCMP officer sitting beside me, and she just almost crushed my spine. She was so excited.
Awarded to the city of Vancouver.
And I thought that day it was about the most surreal of anything I've ever felt. It was the most complex environment. It's the toughest thing. Traveled 1.2 million miles trying to convince people to like us and support us. This is the biggest undertaking in Canadian history, and we started to talk very broadly about the idea of what Canada's Games was about. And Canada's Games was about giving every Canadian a chance to be part of the Games. The torch relay going through every small community, wherever they are in the country. Taking that flame down every highway, taking it to the front door of every home in Canada, so that every Canadian could feel, wow, this was about all of us. But really what we were trying to do was to give every Canadian a chance to look in the mirror using the metaphor of the games, the sporting success of the games, and have a conversation with themselves about their own lives and about seeing, looking at these inspired men and women doing what they're doing and feeling like they could do better.
Our dream is embedded in the heart of every Canadian athlete, every Canadian family, every Canadian child. Our dream, like your dream, is a dream of forever.
I believe that I'm still here because I haven't tried to be still here. I've not spent 1 minute looking over my shoulder worrying about all of the pressures that come to bear on the organizing committee. Is it easy? It is very difficult. The number one thing is that the games be great and that we have the right outcome. But I've followed my heart here, and I will believe in what we're doing no matter what happens around us. And if we touch the lives of Canadians and children and families the way we wanted to, I think we have a better Canada.